So it's been 6 months since Hypex Geffen announced that Manon will be on a hiatus from Katseye, and a lot of fans think that their lopsided bun manager is about to get fired because Hype is looking for a new manager. Also, recently Daniela's friend or best friend or Naisha, if you want to call it, the girl that invalidated Manon's blackness, she recently went on Twitter to address the haters, and I got tagged in it a bunch of times because people thought that she was talking about me. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kinda Wayne King. Welcome to my channel. All that I do ask that you press like and then subscribe so that you can join the kingdom. Also, my birthday is coming up next month, and I would love to see all of you support me on Instagram. I've been seeing some of you follow me already, so I'm just really thankful for that. Oh my god, also we just revamped the Discord where we all talk about just whatever's going on, whether it's Katseye, whether it's new stuff. We all just have a chit chat and it's a good time. So if you want to join, it's linked down below. Today's drink we have is the Kyon special. We have the iced Americano, okay? I have a lot of energy. I have a lot to speak about in this video, and I'm gonna try to keep this video relatively short because it's Friday and I'm sure you guys have things to do. So just give me a little bit of your time and we're gonna go over everything. Now, when you're watching this, can you let me know what drink you have or what snack you have? Or if you're not doing any of that, are you watching me at work? Are you at home? What are you doing while you watch me? There's my favorite comments to see besides when you guys disagree with me or agree with me. I love to see what you're eating or doing while you watch me, because whenever I watch YouTube videos, I'm always like doing something weird or just sitting there eating a snack, you know? So it's nice to see what you guys are doing. Also, let me get a taste, girl. I've missed y'all. Now listen, a week ago, Naisha went on Twitter and she was addressing people, and I was a little bit confused. I saw it when it happened and I was like, what? I opened my TikTok and I was getting tagged in a bunch of things, and they were like, she's talking about you, like she responded to these, whatever. And I was like, I don't think that's directed towards me. Just to be clear, I don't think she was referencing me. I think she was referencing, honestly, probably me and a bunch of other creators and other fans that were talking about her. But just to recap, let's go down memory lane. So about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how Naisha left this comment on Lara's Instagram that was very, very weird. And the comment was essentially saying you have to hold it down for black and brown girls and that it'll make sense. Now, Naisha was saying this to Lara, and everyone felt like the comment was weird just because Lara's not a black girl. Why would Lara have to hold it down for black girls? Like, it just doesn't make sense when Manon is a black girl. And everyone just found like everyone felt like that was a little bit shady because why are you invalidating Manon's blackness? Well, I think it was, that happened, I want to say that happened literally like 2.5, 3 years ago. But when that did happen, Lara unfollowed her and so did Manon. And also when this happened, Naisha went on TikTok and she was like, no one's ever unfollowed me, like that's just a rumor, but let's just keep it real. I don't think it was a rumor. We can easily just fact check, like, she doesn't follow you, they don't follow you, like they unfollowed you after. So it's not really a rumor if like anyone with Instagram can go and verify that. But that's not the point.
And no, no one has had to unfollow me. That is a rumor. I don't know who made that up, but it's a rumor to just light fuel to the fire, like fire to the fuel, however you say that.
But even then, after those comments, Naisha was still friends with Daniela and they recently were hanging out. And you might be like, why are you bringing up Daniela? Listen, I will get there. Trust me, I will get there, okay? I will connect all the dots, all right? Some time passes and the paparazzi catches Daniela hanging out with Naisha, and then Manon goes on Instagram and she starts removing pictures of Daniela off her Instagram. And a lot of icons just felt like, oh, it was because Manon found out that they were hanging out, because it was just, everyone just felt like, it's a little bit weird that Daniela, like, girl, we love you, but why are you hanging out with Naisha when she said something so offensive to Manon? Why? Like, she invalidated Manon's blackness, and now here you are hanging out with her. And it just seems like if Lara could understand that that could be harmful and Lara unfollowed her, how come Daniela couldn't unfollow her? When Manon and Daniela at one point were supposed to be like this and, you know, they really had this bond, you know? So a lot of icons just felt like that was a little strange. That was a little shady. But I mean, hey, even knowing all of that, that's not even why she started to get the recent upbringing of everything. Recently, her birthday happened, and underneath her birthday comments, we saw the lopsided bun and we saw Daniela. And everyone was like, oh no, girl, y'all are weird. Like, everyone was just like, y'all are weird. Lopsided bun and Daniela, this is looking a little bit shady, all right? And you may be watching this being like, how was that shady telling someone happy birthday? And honestly, listen, you might be right, but for me at least, I feel like, hey, for Renol's birthday, Daniela didn't like her picture or even publicly wish her a happy birthday. The other Katseye girls liked her picture at least. Like, I feel like that's the bare minimum that you could do. But you know what? It's whatever. She, like, I'm saying she didn't have to, but she could have. If you really liked this girl and really had respect for her, you would at least like the picture and be like, okay, knowing that you're about to go like and comment on someone's picture that invalidated Manon's blackness, it was a little bit shady. But I think because of this situation, this is where the Naisha lashing start. Like the fans really start going after her. And I don't condone attacking people, I don't condone hate, I don't condone any of that. So if this y'all think this video where I can drag her looks or be like any of that, click off. Wrong space, okay? But after these Instagram comments, everyone was like, okay, like what is going on here? This is not like Manon's hiatus isn't normal. These girls are not friends. Like what is going on here? And then this picture gets online, and this picture is of Daniela and Naisha hanging out. Like they had a dinner together. And they're with Carly Girl and Marquise, I believe that's how you pronounce it, or they're just other singers. And I saw people on TikTok ask me like, why am I not mentioning Carly Girl or Marquise? I don't see Carly Girl or the other girl being friends with Manon. I think there's a difference when you're friends with someone. That's why people were so hard on Daniela, because they were like, aren't y'all supposed to be friends? Like at the end of the day, y'all supposed to be friends. Carly Girl and Manon, y'all are not, they're not friends. So like we're not gonna be mad at Carly Girl for hanging out with someone else that, you know, that's not their beef. I think a lot of icons just wanted Daniela to show a little bit of loyalty to Manon, because Manon has faced a lot of mistreatment and anti-blackness in the industry. So to then go hang with someone that like, you know, was egging that on essentially, it just really seems like it hurt Manon, especially when Lara unfollowed her because she was like, that comment was very, very shady. But after that comment, Daniela and Naisha are getting attacked a lot. And then people on Twitter really start to go into Naisha and they're like, you basically copied Manon's look. And I'm going to be real for a second. Can we not act like the girls were not inspired by Manon and Manon did not inspire other people? I feel like when it comes to like the copying, fashion, all that stuff, it's just like, it's just a little bit weird. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of like, you copied my style or like someone copied their look. But I do think Naisha took inspiration from her. But when I really start to look closely, someone made a thread and they were posting pictures of Naisha and what she was wearing and breaking down things. And they were like, oh, she's really copying Manon's style. Listen, I can just see what they're saying. I don't know if I would be like, she's fully copying her. But I can sit back and be like, it does look a little weird. It does look a little weird. Too many things, too many coincidences, and I'm like, it looks a little bit weird. And honestly, up until this point, if Naisha did not say anything, I would have sat here and just been like, maybe she's copying her, maybe she's not. I just think she's inspired. But it wasn't until Naisha made this post on Twitter where I'm like, okay, wait, girl, maybe you were copying her. I'm going to pull up the post here and I'm also going to read it to you because we're going to break down some things. But I'm going to read it all first and then we'll break it down section by section. I can't believe I have to come on here and say this, but here's this picture of me on my 11th birthday wearing waist beads and the IGs of 3 Black European women, a generation above me and Manon, who have been in the game and boards way before us, walking straight brows. And then she puts in parentheses that y'all would never credit because they are dark skinned, in all caps, close parentheses. Y'all would never say girls in Atlanta, Detroit, Compton, Harlem, and Bronx are copying each other. I'm just following trends and a culture that is mine. I never used to do my makeup, and when I started, I went for brows that are straight like most Afro-European girls. Now listen, Aisha. When she posted this, I was like, girl, like, you delete it. Like, delete it. Like, this is honestly the worst thing, like, you could have done. I don't even know why you put, like, Manon's name into this. I'm going to break down the tweet specifically, but when you scroll down on the tweet, guess what the first reply is? The first reply is literally just her saying you're going to hold it down for Black and brown girls, and this will all make sense later. And it's basically, that comment has more likes than, like, the post that she's making. And I just don't think getting on Twitter and saying this was, like, the right thing or even going to open, like, the good dialogue. I don't think the point of people saying she was copying Manon was essentially the waist beads. I have waist beads, a lot of Black people have waist beads, a lot of African, European, African Americans, a lot of people wear waist beads. So I don't think like that was never the main point of why people were saying you were copying Manon, but whatever, look, whatever. But I just also feel like giving the Instagram of these 3 people that are a generation above you and Manon is just a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird, okay? I feel like all you had to come out and say was, guys, I'm Black, like this is also my style, it's also my culture, like I love this, like what are we talking about here? Instead of like having to prove it by showing 3 people on Instagram that are a generation above you and Manon. And I just find it really interesting that she's looping herself in with Manon. Not saying that, you know, they're not in the same bracket or demographic or time period, but I just feel like, girl, Manon has not ever like publicly addressed you or talked about any of this copying stuff. So like, why are you even going through all of this like online, especially on Twitter? Also, her going in parentheses and saying y'all would never credit them because, you know, they're dark skinned. Listen, I do agree with her. I feel like a lot of dark skinned women or dark skinned men or dark skinned people in general, they don't get the representation they deserve or the credit for setting so many trends. And I fully agree with that. But I just feel like, Naisha, girl, like what are we talking about? No one, we're not even like, me as a dark skinned person, like where this issue was not like a, you know, Manon is taking credit from dark skins or, you know, Manon set the trend for all of these things. It was not that. It was not that. Like, it really was not that. You, like, I feel like, Naisha, you're turning this into a different conversation when you easily could have just been like, I'm African as well. Like, this is my culture. But also, I love Manon, and maybe I was inspired by her. The Katseye girls say they're inspired by Manon. What's the problem with saying that? I don't get it. And then when she brought up the girls in what Atlanta, Detroit, Compton, Harlem, and the Bronx are copying each other, like, what are you doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I don't even think, like, let's be real. As an American girl, that's not what I meant, but as an American, period, girl, you know that, like, come on now. I don't think this is her place. Listen, we as Americans, and if you're a black American girl, you know, people on the West Coast, the East Coast, the South, if they're black, they have different distinct fashion and how they dress. But even then, sometimes if someone from the South dresses a certain type of way, you'll be like, oh, that's West Coast fashion. Oh, that's this. And I feel like people would say that. People say that all the time about not even just black people, but like West Coast fashion versus South fashion versus East fashion. Like, people say that about whatever region, especially in America, whatever region you're from, even if you're a Southern cowboy versus like a Western California. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. This conversation literally does not make sense because the conversation happens all the time. And I'm gonna wrap this up very quickly because I'm getting tired of speaking on it, but I just feel like her being like me and Manon, like these girls came before me and Manon, is just once again very interesting because like you and Manon, I'm sorry, are not really in the same category. Naisha, love you down. I'm sure you make music. I'm sure you do cool things, but I just feel like you're only saying me and Manon when it's now convenient. How come you didn't say Manon and I when Manon was facing all of this like anti-blackness and all this mistreatment over the last 6 months that I'm sure you've heard about and I'm sure that you're aware of? I just feel like you only brought up Manon because you're trying to save face now and you're trying to make it seem like, oh no, I would never copy her, and there's these people that came before Manon and I, and that's who I look up to, not Manon. It was just that's a little shady. I just feel like these last few months, you're not under contract with Hybex Gaffin. You don't have no contract holding you back. So if Manon was going through mistreatment and you as a black woman that also saw her go through that, how come you didn't speak up for her or say anything or try to support her? How come you didn't do any of that? But yet instead, you invalidate her blackness and then you get online, you act like you did not do that. You make a TikTok saying, I didn't do that and no one unfollowed me when Laura and Manon both unfollowed you. It's just shady. It's just shady. Like, you can't tell me that's not shady. That, like, girl, come on now. And then you're getting attacked because Daniela and you hung out for your birthday and and Lopsided Bun commented on your Instagram picture, and now the icons are like, oh no, girl, you actually are Shady Boots, and you are copying Manon. And then you want to get on Twitter and say that my inspirations are these 3 black women that are generations before me and Manon. Let's not even use Manon's name right now. It makes no sense. You didn't speak up on Manon when she was facing all this anti-blackness and all this mistreatment over the last months that we've been covering, and also that has just been talked about literally globally. It hasn't even been like a small issue. This has been a global issue since her hiatus. You've never once spoken up about it, but you did go on Laura's Instagram and be very anti-black and invalidate her blackness on Laura's Instagram. Interesting. And this is why people call Daniela, and especially that Lopsided Bun, extremely shady, because why are you hanging out with someone with this behavior? It's just so shady. You can't even have enough accountability to be like, oh no, I love Manon's Browns, I'm a little bit inspired by her. Instead, you have to immediately get on Twitter and be like, no, these 3 black women before me and Manon, this is who inspires me. When you post the screenshots, girl, you follow 2 out of 3 people. If they really inspired you, why didn't you follow all 3 of them? Call a spade a spade. Let's just call a spade. And I'm not the first one saying this. Listen, I gave y'all over a week to like deal with this because I was like, oh no, girl. And when I saw this at first, I was like, oh no, I don't want to feel like reading today. But everything's not making sense. Okay, so please, girl, just don't mention Manon at this point. It's getting tired. I just hate when people in our community can see like the injustice and the anti-blackness going on, and they just push that along and they egg it on instead of standing up for it. And the only time they stand up to the criticism is once it's now faced on her. But she can see Manon struggling and going through all this stuff, and she never once used her platform to be like, Manon, I hope you're okay, or Manon, I hope everything gets better, or we need to treat black women in the industry better. She hasn't done any of that. But it's just whatever. It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, and the more that I really think about it, I'm like, Lopsided Bun, Daniela, Shady Boots. Y'all are Shady Boots. I don't know how else to cut it. Y'all are Shady Boots. Like, I can't even, girl, like, I don't even know what to say. Y'all are just shady. I hope one day Naisha, Lopsided Bun, and Daniela can learn from all of this. I hope that when Manon is free from this contract, girl, I just hope that one day they learn and they don't repeat this behavior onto other people. That's all that I want, and I want Manon to be free from this mess, okay? Also, a lot of icons were telling me to talk about Missy being fired or Lopsided Bun being fired. I'm gonna be real. As much as I do not like her, as much as I think that personally, in my own opinion, allegedly she's a bad employee and she does shady things, I don't think she should be fired. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Not even that I don't think she should be fired. I don't think she will be fired. I think that's the better point. Not my opinion. This doesn't even matter. Whether I want her to work there or not, I know the corporate game a little bit too well. She just got a promotion a few months ago. She's been there for 3 years, got 3 promotions. They're not about to fire her unless they catch her like stealing or like blatantly lying to one of the people higher than her. She can lie to the girls all she wants. She's not going to get in trouble for that. If she gets caught lying to like an executive or one of the chairmen or whatever, chair lady or whatever, that's when she'll probably get fired. But I don't see her getting fired right now. Listen, as much as, girl, I know they're Sue happy, so I'm not saying I want her to get fired. Or I'm not saying that she should not have a job and be able to provide for her family, but she's shady, all right? I'm saying that she's a little bit shady. I just know that Hype Hype America's probably not going to fire her. I also think a lot of people are saying just because Hybe is looking for, new managers that they're trying to like, fire her and replace her. From my understanding at least, and take this with a grain of salt, girl, do your own research. This is not one of those deep dive videos. I'm not about to show you my extensive thinking and for all of that. I think earlier this year before she got a promotion, they were hiring a new manager and a new person that was gonna have her title. They hired 2 new people. They haven't done anything shady that I know of yet, so I'm going to leave them out of it. You can find their names online, but there's 2 new people that work there. One of them works with Katseye. The other one, I think, is working with Saint Satine. And from my understanding, these 2 people work, like, beneath the Lopsided bun. Like, it's not, they have to report back to her, and then she reports back to someone else. Like, it's kind of one of those situations. And until I hear that they do something bad to, someone, I don't think we should really talk about these new employees. It doesn't really matter. I also just think that knowing that this happened right before her promotion, I believe that the new positions they're looking for is to either help out with Katseye or help out with like a Manon solo manager, or even help out with like Saint Satine or even their new group that they're working on. I'm gonna be real, I think if they were gonna let Lopsided Bun go, or if something were to happen to Lopsided Bun, they would have already moved some things around. Like, I'm not even joking, they would have been like, let's delay this album, let's just go ahead and remove her, and they would have had someone else step in, because there's people in that company that work very close with Katseye that can do what Lopsided Bun is doing, or is willing to do that, temporarily at least. So I don't see Lopsided Bun getting fired. I know a lot of people want her to get fired. Listen, whatever y'all want, I cannot control. I'm just telling you, listen, I know the corporate game a little bit, and I'm like, they're not gonna let her go unless some things come to light. And in my opinion, someone that calls Manon arrogant, lazy, and is just being anti-Black, I just don't think that they should have a position and be in power like this. But once again, it's not my company, so I'm not gonna legally say she should be fired. That's not my statement. That's not what I'm giving. In my opinion, allegedly, girl, because no, y'all are not about to get me, But who knows? I could be wrong. Honestly, Lopsided Bun could be getting fired. They could let her go, or she could step away to do her own thing. I think best case scenario, they just have someone else work in between her and Katseye so that she's not really like working with them so closely, or they just move her over to Saint Satine, or they move her over to a new group. Or even best case scenario, they're like, hey, we're gonna terminate your contract. You have 6 months left with us. She can have some time to figure out some things. That could be best case scenario. I don't know, girl. At this point, Manon, like, it's been 6 months since Manon has been on her hiatus. Yesterday, or I think 2 days ago, was the official 6 months, and it's like, we've been going through all this for 6 months. The Lopsided Bun has not been putting in the work. Where's our statement on Manon saying, giving us an update? How come you're not working with Manon? How come you aren't trying to get Manon back in the group? Like, we haven't got any of that. Manon has faced so much mistreatment in this group. Even recently now, even still being on hiatus now, she's getting mistreated even more. And it's like, girl, she's not even there, and how is more mistreatment occurring? Like, it's a little bit crazy. Like, right? It's a little bit crazy. But this is not the mistreatment of Manon series that I have, so I will get into that soon. Most likely next week. I know I'm a little bit behind on videos. I just feel like me when I got sick, like, it really threw some things off my schedule, so please be patient with me, okay? I need to catch up on a lot of things right now. But if you made it to the end, can you let me know, what do you think about all this? What do you think about Naisha? What do you think about Missy getting fired? What do you think about Manon's hiatus being out now on for 6 months? Girl, I want Manon back. Give us a statement. Let us know what is going on and where is Manon, okay? Like, please, please. But yeah, I love y'all, Kingdom. Thank y'all for riding with me and supporting me. I just want to say, like, if you're watching it to the end, I know it's the real one, so I'm just going to get this out of my chest now. But seriously, in the last month, like, when I had this channel, like, I think in July, I had like 10,000 subscribers, and we're getting close to 20,000, and like, to me, that's mind-blowing. I know some people it's not, but like, girl, even I was happy with 1,000 subscribers and getting 1,000 views. Like, I just love talking and like hanging out with y'all, so I'm just happy that y'all are here and hanging out with me. Also, it's kind of crazy that my YouTube page is gonna have more subscribers than my TikTok page, and like, I'm not complaining because at the end of the day, I've always loved YouTube more than TikTok. I feel like I can really connect with everyone and like have a vibe, and things aren't really like misconstrued on YouTube. So I love it over here. And I just want to say thank y'all for like having a good community and just being positive. Girl, girl, I love y'all, okay? Cheers to hopefully Manon coming back, us having a good time. I will see y'all soon with another video, I promise. Let's hope I don't get sick, all right? Make sure you subscribe to join the kingdom. Also, I've seen some people like join the membership to join the kingdom. Listen, do not spend any money. You do not have to. If you do, I really appreciate it. You get cool little gems, but like you do not have to. Once again, watching it is good enough for me, okay? But I'll see y'all soon, okay? I love you. Goodbye.